You're probably Googling Zapier versus n8n right now, reading endless feature comparisons that all say the same thing. I've spent months and hundreds of dollars testing both. And here's what shocked me. Choosing wrong could cost you thousands, but not for the reason you think. So, in this video, I'm showing you the one question that instantly tells you which tool you need. No fluff, no feature lists. By the end, you'll know exactly which platform fits your situation and your budget. Let's start with what actually matters. The one question that decides everything. Here's the question. Do you want a tool that protects you from complexity, or one that gives you complexity when you need it? Because that's the entire difference between these platforms. Zapier's whole philosophy is, just make it work. You pick a trigger, pick an action, connect your apps, and you're done. Everything technical happens behind the scenes. You never see API calls, data structures, or code unless you specifically go looking for it. This is genuinely powerful. A complete beginner can automate their email to spreadsheet workflow in 5 minutes without understanding how any of it actually works. n8n takes the opposite approach. You see exactly what's happening under the hood. When data moves between apps, you can see it. When you need to transform that data in a specific way, you can drop in a code node and write JavaScript or Python right there. You can connect to any API on the internet, not just pre-built integrations. The complexity is optional, but it's available when you need it. Here's where it gets interesting, though. This philosophical difference shapes everything else: the pricing, the learning curve, even who should be using these tools. Zapier is optimized for non-technical people who just want quick wins. n8n is built for people who either have technical skills or are willing to learn them in exchange for way more control and potentially massive cost savings. Neither approach is wrong, but choosing the one that doesn't match your situation, that's where people waste time and money. When Zapier actually wins. Let's be honest about where Zapier dominates. If you're a solopreneur, small business owner, or anyone who values time over everything else, Zapier is probably your answer. The interface is absurdly beginner-friendly. They've got over 8,000 pre-built app integrations, more than anyone else. You can literally click a template, connect your accounts, and have a working automation in 3 minutes. I've watched complete beginners go from zero to automating their lead capture in less time than it takes to watch this video. That's powerful. And Zapier's AI features are legitimately impressive now. Zapier Copilot lets you describe what you want in plain English, and it builds the workflow for you. Their AI by Zapier integration means you can plug ChatGPT into any workflow without touching an API. You can analyze text, generate responses, categorize data, all with a few clicks. Here's a real example. A marketing team needs to capture leads from their website, add them to their CRM, send them to Google Sheets, and notify the sales team in Slack. In Zapier, this is maybe 20 minutes of setup, most of which is just connecting accounts. It works reliably, it has error handling, and if something breaks, there's customer support to help. But wait until you see this. That convenience comes with a price tag that scales fast. The free tier gives you 100 tasks per month, which sounds like a lot until you realize a 4-step workflow counts as 4 tasks every time it runs. You'll hit that limit in a week. Paid plans start at $20-$30 per month for 750 tasks, and serious business use can easily hit $100-$300 monthly. Every execution costs you. For small-scale automation where you're running maybe a few workflows a few times daily, that cost is totally worth it for the time savings. But if you're processing thousands of leads or running dozens of workflows constantly, those costs explode. When n8n changes the game. Now here's where n8n flips the script completely. n8n is open source, which means you can self-host it on your own server. And when you do that, something magical happens. Execution limits vanish. You pay for your server, maybe $10 to $20 per month for a small VPS, and run unlimited workflows, unlimited executions, forever. I know a company that was paying Zapier $350 monthly. They migrated to self-hosted n8n on a $20 DigitalOcean server and saved over $3,500 per year while actually increasing their automation usage. The trade-off? They needed someone technical enough to set it up and maintain it. For a company with even one tech-savvy person, that's a no-brainer. But the cost savings aren't even the biggest advantage. The real power is flexibility. Remember those scenarios where you need to do something that doesn't fit a template? In Zapier, you're trying to force your square peg into their round hole, adding multiple formatting steps and hoping it works. In n8n, you just write the logic you need. 10 lines of JavaScript can replace 20 Zapier steps. The HTTP request node in n8n is particularly powerful. It's basically a universal connector. Even if an app doesn't have a pre-built integration, you can connect to its API directly. This means n8n can technically connect to anything, not just the apps in their directory. Here's the catch, though, and this is important. n8n has a steeper learning curve. You won't find as many one-click templates. The documentation is good, but you're expected to understand concepts like webhooks, JSON data, and API calls. For some people, that's overwhelming. For others, especially people who like understanding how things work, this transparency is actually helpful because you're not fighting against a black box. The decision framework. Let me make this really simple. Here's how to choose. Pick Zapier if you check any of these boxes. You're not technical and don't want to be. Your time is more valuable than money. You'd rather pay $50 a month than spend 5 hours learning a platform. You need rock-solid reliability with customer support. You're running light to moderate automation, maybe a dozen workflows executing a few hundred times monthly. You want to use the new AI features without dealing with API keys and code. Pick n8n if these sound like you. You have some technical skills or you're willing to learn. You're running high-volume workflows where Zapier's costs would balloon. You want total control over your data and workflows. You need to build custom automations that don't fit templates. You're comfortable with concepts like APIs, webhooks, and JSON. You either already have a server or don't mind managing one. Here's what I see work really well in practice. Start with Zapier to prove out your automation ideas and get quick wins. Once you understand what you need and you're hitting execution limits, evaluate whether n8n makes sense. There's no shame in using the easier tool first and graduating to the more powerful one later. And honestly, for a lot of basic use cases, logging emails to Sheets, posting to Slack when something happens, syncing data between two apps, either tool works fine. The differences matter most at the extremes. Complete beginners who need maximum simplicity, or power users who need maximum flexibility. The real talk. Here's the truth, most comparison videos won't tell you. The best automation tool is the one you'll actually use. Zapier's polish and ease of use means you're more likely to actually build those automations instead of procrastinating. n8n's flexibility means you won't hit frustrating walls 6 months in when your needs evolve. For most small businesses just starting with automation, Zapier is the right choice. Pay the subscription, get value immediately, and don't overthink it. If you eventually outgrow it, you'll have the knowledge to migrate to n8n intelligently. For tech-savvy teams or high-volume operations, n8n's cost savings and flexibility make it the obvious winner from day one. The worst choice is choosing neither because you're stuck analyzing. Pick one, start automating, and adjust later if needed. So there you have it. Zapier for simplicity and speed, n8n for flexibility and control. Both are excellent tools solving the same problem in different ways. Your choice comes down to your technical comfort and how much you're willing to pay for convenience versus control. Drop a comment and tell me which one you're going with and what you're planning to automate first. I'm genuinely curious what workflows people are building. If you want me to do deep dive tutorials on either platform, let me know. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more content on automation tools that actually save you time instead of wasting it. See you in the next one.